Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Second Cup of Coffee. Pastor Tom with you. We're on week 2 of our series, Famine. Last week we talked about we may not be the one who is responsible, but we're going to take responsibility before God, with God, to break the back of famine. Not a famine that is designed to position us in a place moving away from where we are to where we should be, and I could prove that biblically, but I won't take the time. But a famine that is impacting the place that God has planted us, our family, those types of things. And so what we want to look at today is, if I'm taking, I may not be responsible, but if I'm taking responsibility, how do I pursue this? The first thing you have to do is pursue God. And it says that David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered. What it doesn't say is the length. What it doesn't say is the vehicle that he chose. Other times in his life, David pursued God through prayer and fasting, fasting being a key there. I think prayer is a given in both. There may be an element of fasting that you need to walk through. And we've talked about this on other Second Cups of Coffee, but I think it bears repeating. Fasting is a coming before God, I believe, and resetting my vision on Jesus. But we got to be careful, okay? Let me give you a little bit of caution here. Let me, how would I say, maybe a speed bump or a guardrail. I do not fast for an answer. Often if I'm fasting for an answer, it's usually an answer I already have and I want God to change his mind. Not something, just save yourself the torture and go ahead and eat a Big Mac, okay? He already answered you. You just have to decide if you want to listen to the answer he gave you, okay? That aside, inquiring of the Lord when you don't know is asking a question in that sense, but it's trusting. Out of the New Testament, it says, when I ask for wisdom will come. Okay? This is not a vow. God, I'm not going to eat until you answer me. No, I'm going to set aside a subscribed amount of time based on what I feel like the Holy Spirit is saying. Could be a lunch, could be a dinner, could be a day, could be 3 days, could be 7 days, could be a full fast where I just drink water or liquids, could be a Daniel fast. There's a lot of different variables. The first stop is go before God and say, God, how do you want me to inquire of you? And then begin to walk that out. Why? What I want to do is position myself to hear when he speaks. And the best way to do that is to ask him, how do I position myself? And so he may give you a variety of answers. We talked about fasting. He may say to go to somebody and ask them for their wisdom. What is that? It's out of Proverbs. Wisdom gives us instruction. Sometimes you just need instruction to know how to navigate to break the back of this famine. So fasting, wisdom, and then sometimes it's just making the request and waiting. I learned this a few years ago when I was part of a school board and there was some issues and I didn't have an answer and I didn't know what to think and I didn't know what to do, and I was driving home and it was really late at night and I said, God, I don't know what to do. And he said, ask for wisdom and you will know when it shows up. Just ask for wisdom and trust that you're going to know when it shows up. If he asks you to fast, fast. If he asks you to go ask somebody, then go ask somebody. But if he asks you to just ask him and wait, then do that. In every one of those situations, you'll know when the wisdom shows up. And that will give you a supernatural key to breaking the back of famine that you're not going to find any other place. You may not be responsible, but you're the one taking responsibility. So the next step is going to the one who can give you the key. And the first stop is always Jesus. If this means something to you, share it. And you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on our app. You can find us on YouTube, either at RCC or our Rancho Christian Center or RCC Second Cup. All of those places we're available. If it meant something to you, share it. We'll talk to you soon.